welcome to Beauty Infinite. So today's video deals with foundation. Today I will not go ahead and discuss with you guys a particular brand or variety of foundation. I will discuss with all of you the way you can choose a proper foundation shade for yourself. With you some ideas which you should keep in your mind when you are purchasing a foundation. Share some swatches of different shades of foundation, and if you want to know how to choose a proper foundation shade for yourself, then please keep on watching, and I hope this video is really helpful for you guys. So the very first thing I'm going to talk about in terms of foundation is undertone. This is a really confusing subject, I know. A lot of times we have different sort of skin tone, whether fair, medium and dark, but there are also different varieties in terms of those particular skin tone. For example, if there is a fair skin tone, there could be a fair skin tone with a pink or yellow undertone or a blue undertone. Again, there could be a duskier skin tone with light yellow undertone or a beige or a neutral undertone or more deeper and warmer undertone. So as you can see, skin tone varies as well as the foundation shade varies. Different ways in determining your undertone. Few people say that if you look at your veins and the color of your veins are blue, that means you are someone with a cooler undertone, and if your color of your veins are green, that means you are someone with a warm undertone. If gold jewelry suits you more, that means you are with a warm tone. If silver suits you more, you are with a cooler tone, and if both gold and silver suits you equally well, that means you are more of a neutral tone. So yes, there are various way to determine your undertone, but finding out your exact tone is pretty different, because many times seasonal changes do bring out a bit of change in your undertone. Sometimes people get more paler during the winter months and get more warmer during the summer month. So I follow some different tips and tricks in order to choose my own foundation shade, and I will go ahead and share them with you guys today. Now, I will start off with my first tip, which is probably the most important tip in order to choose a proper foundation shade for yourself, and that is understanding why exactly we use our foundation. Now, there is a big wrong concept regarding the same in a lot of stores you visit to buy the foundation. I personally face the problem many times whenever I go to a store and ask them to share the shades of a particular brand, and they just take out the shade, point out to a particular shade and tell me, ma'am, this is a perfect one, please go for this one. I feel this will look great on you, your skin will be brightened up, आपका face बहुत अच्छा दिखेगा, आपका face बहुत fair दिखेगा, this will be a really good shade for you. The basic concept which I've seen in most of the people in the stores are foundation are applied to give you a fairer tone, which is absolutely wrong, guys, because foundations are not applied on skin to give you a fairer or to change your skin tone. It is applied on face in order to have a even skin tone, that is the skin tone which you already have, to even it out, to give you a proper and flawless finish. Have problems like acne scars, dark patches, under eyes, a lot of flaws. The basic job of foundation is to cover all that up, to give you the flawless tone which your original skin should look like. So the very first tip which I'm going to share, that when you visit a store to buy your foundation, please do not go with the suggestion the store person tell you in terms of your shade until and unless absolutely sure that the person is providing your exact shade type. Yes, to say, yeah, this is your perfect shade, this is gonna brighten up your face. The main idea between the brighten up is that it is a fairer shade and will give you a fairer tone, which is absolutely incorrect. This is probably a big reason why we often choose a wrong shade for ourselves, because we tend to seek the help of those people because it deals with a lot of products, deals with a lot of swatches, so we feel that maybe they are providing us a good correct tip, but no, they are not. For them, it is not possible to understand your exact shade until and unless she swatches it. So do not go what people suggest. First, swipe the shade and then determine which is your proper and correct shade as per your skin tone. Is the way they swatch the color. Now, I have seen that whenever I visit a store, the first thing they say is that, you know, madam, आपका हाथ निकालिए, थोड़ा स्वॉच करके देख लीजिए कैसा है कि नहीं है, एंड आपको पता चल जाएगा कि ये आपका एकदम प्रॉपर शेड है. सो आई जस्ट टेक आउट माई हैंड, दिस वॉच द प्रोडक्ट ऑन द बैक ऑफ माई हैंड, blend it well, and I look at and say, wow, this is the exact shade and let me buy it. And yes, that is the second big mistake which we made. Now you have to understand the fact that the color of your hand is very much different compared to the color of your face. Your hand might be lighter or might be darker than your face. You should never swatch a foundation on your hand in order to determine your exact shade, because the color which might seem like your exact shade on your hand, when you come back home and apply it on your face and blend it well, you might find that it is not your typical shade and is actually forming a white cast or a darker cast in your overall finish. In order to understand which shade should suit you the most, you are supposed to swatch the product on the side of the jawline or the neck area. Now I do not prefer the neck area because a lot of time my neck area tends to be a bit lighter or darker compared to my face skin tone. So I personally prefer to swatch at the side of my jawline, which gives my exact skin shade. Now when you are swatching the shade, you need to look for the shade which almost blends with your skin and seems like an invisible one. That is your closest shade you can opt for, and you should choose that one. Checking on your hand, you do not require a mirror, but when you want to check the product on your jawline, it definitely needs a mirror, and I won't suggest that you rely on the store for providing you a mirror and stuff. So it's better that you carry your own small mirror. Take the mirror very close to your face. Now this is not a completely correct method. See the color mixing well with your skin tone and you find that, wow, this is my exact shade, because it just blends well and it just invisible in my skin, so definitely my proper shade. But you are forgetting one important thing, that when the mirror is extremely close and you are inside a store, not outdoor, so there is a shadow which has been created in between. So even the foundation is of a lighter shade, it might seem a bit darker matching your tone. Go to the area where you have most lights, keep the mirror a bit farther away from your face and then check the shade. Now this will give you the perfect idea how well the shade blends, because when you keep the mirror further apart from the face, there is a lot of light coming, giving you and helping you to understand if the shade actually blends well. So this is what I typically follow. I know when you do that, people might look at a very weird way, that what you are exactly trying to do, trying to understand what you are actually doing, because they are not quite habituated, especially if you go to a local store. Definitely they might give you a very weird look from top to bottom. Trust me, that does happen with me innumerable times, but trust me, it doesn't matter, because I feel making myself weird in front of people is better than wasting $700 on a wrong shade of foundation. Exact way I go for, because this will give you the perfect idea how well the shade is suiting and blending into your skin tone. What I'm going to talk about is oxidation. Now each and every foundation oxidizes, at least most of them. Now the level of oxidation definitely differs. Some oxidizes more, some oxidizes less. Now in order to determine that, you have to use a shade of foundation and understand the level of oxidation. You can always check reviews on that particular brand. You can also check various posts on that particular brand to understand that how much the foundation oxidizes. For example, if I talk about L'Oreal Infallible Foundation, this is one of my favorite foundation, but the foundation oxidizes a lot. Maybelline Fit Me even oxidizes quite a bit, because my shade is Toffee Caramel from Maybelline Fit Me, and whenever I've applied the shade, I found that it tends to be darker with time, just making my skin look much more darker than it's supposed to be. Biggest confusion which arises out of this, that how to understand that which shade you should opt for, because what happens when the foundation oxidizes a lot, suppose you bought a shade which is exactly matching your skin, but since it oxidizes a lot, you apply the shade, it will become darker with time, so again it will not match your skin tone. You can definitely deal with it by two simple ways. First of all, if you're already aware how much your particular brand of foundation oxidizes, you can choose a shade which is lighter than your skin tone, just one shade lighter, not too much. It will oxidizes in few minutes and give you your exact tone. This is something which I follow a lot and works perfectly well for myself. You already have a foundation which oxidizes a lot and tends to be darker with time, you can always mix that foundation a bit of face cream. I prefer to mix it with a bit of Johnson and then apply it on my skin. This allows the foundation not to get extremely dark with time when it oxidizes. You can also mix the foundation with a bit of lighter foundation and apply it on your skin so that when it oxidizes, it gives you your exact skin tone instead of making you further dark. Final thing I'm going to talk about is choosing the exact shade. This is a really big challenge in India where the number of shades are so limited. I found that the Indian market typically have foundation shades which has a beige undertone, a bit of a cooler undertone sometimes, but mostly with warm yellow undertone. But there are serious lack of shades when it comes to deeper and darker skin tone, or shades we have like really light skin tone with a pink undertone. They do not have. I think L'Oreal still have few shades with a bit of pinkish tone to it, but I do not know how well they work because I never tried those particular shade. But I definitely found those shade name and shade details over online, so if you like, you can check them out. But most of the time what I felt that in case you are struggling with a pink or a lighter or cooler tone foundation, you can always go for a foundation with a neutral tone, and a neutral tone is a beige tone foundation because beige is neither a deep yellow, neither a cool tone. It is somewhere in between, so it could work as a neutral tone and pretty much suit your need. The another best thing which you can do is make your own custom shade by mixing one or two different sort of foundation. That works for me extremely well. I have seen my foundation shade comes really good when I mix my Maybelline, L'Oreal, or my Color Essence and Maybelline, and it gives me a really beautiful finish and the exact and the almost the closest shade for my skin tone. So now I will go ahead and swatch some of the different shades of foundation on the side of my jawline to help you to understand how exactly the different shade looks on the jaw area. The first shade I'm choosing is from the Color Essence HD foundation in the shade HDF3. As you can clearly see, the shade is of a natural beige undertone. It is definitely lighter for my skin tone. The second one is L'Oreal Infallible in the shade Radiant Beige. This shade has a deeper yellow undertone compared to the Color Essence one, but definitely not matching with my particular skin tone. The third one is Golden Sand from L'Oreal Infallible, and this is somewhere between the previous L'Oreal and the Color Essence one. It do have a yellow undertone to it, but also has a beige tone as well, so it is not that warm. Number from L'Oreal Infallible, the closest shade for my skin tone in this range, but still it is not completely matching but quite close. Once I apply this shade, due to oxidation, the shade tends to be more darker. Maybelline Infallible now, as you can see, it has the richest yellow undertone out of all the shade I have swatched. It is completely matching with my skin tone, but the shade is very warm as well. Now I have applied a swatch for a combination of Infallible Fit Me with Toffee Caramel and Radiant Beige from L'Oreal, and you can see this shade is very much close to my skin tone, almost blending in my skin tone, well suitable. So mixing out two shades can definitely give you a better color result if you do not find your exact shade range with a proper undertone. So I hope the video was helpful. If you like my video, please do not forget to give it a big thumbs up. My social media links are provided in the bottom description bar, and if you like, you can check it out and be a part of it. And I will see you guys soon. Until next time, bye.